From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Hourly News Blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting Scott Yenor has suggested recriminalizing sodomy, criminalizing sex outside of marriage, and rolling back civil rights protections for women. So naturally, he was hired by the Heritage Foundation, the architects of Project 2025, the racist and Christian Nationalist blueprint for Trump's second presidency, as the new director of its B Kenneth Simon Center for American Studies. His appointment from the Fuhrer comes on the heels of the foundation's president, Kevin Roberts, praising neo-Nazi influencer Nick Fuentes as a friend and defending Fuentes' right to be given a national media platform. Roberts called the Jewish people and other Republicans criticizing Fuentes a venomous coalition of sowing division, as if he himself isn't. After a massive blowback, Roberts eventually shut his mouth. No, he backtracked, essentially blaming his words on his now-resigned chief of staff. Yenor was a featured speaker at a recent Trad Dad conference held by Westminster Presbyterian Church in Battleground, Washington on October 24th, The Guardian revealed. At the conference, Yenor said that a society that upholds monogamous, procreative marriage would require a set of laws and manners that reinforce having kids and penalize people for not having kids, like the sterile people that exist on this planet. Divorce would be difficult to get. Sodomy would be illegal. You could make adultery illegal. You can make fornication illegal. Hell, you can make donuts illegal, except the cops would be pissed off, These all reinforce marriage. I don't see how the donut thing matters. The gays, the feminist ideology, the transgender ideologies, all of these ideologies compromise family formation, except for donuts, he said. These ideologies can grow only if reality is a little sick. So I consider feminism to be kind of an ideology of decadence. We consider you to be decadent. Actually, we consider you to be utter bullshit. When discussing other necessary political measures for a procreation society, he said, I would like to end the sex discrimination regime. Sex discrimination would no longer be a civil matter. Businesses wouldn't have to worry about it. Schools wouldn't have to worry about it. Basically, the Civil Rights Act, I think, institutionalizes the battle of the sexes and puts the law on the side of feminist indoctrination, he said, adding, so the only way to kind of end that corrosive ideological commitment of our regime is to scale back how the Civil Rights Act applies to businesses, schools, and every other institution in the country, as if you thick-headed moron belongs back in the 1770s rather than the 2020s. In June, Yenor was a guest on an episode of right-wing podcaster Aaron McIntyre entitled, Have We Hit Peak Pride? We won't hit that until June, darling. During the episode, Yenor claimed the first wave of gay rights was open and honest about what gay rights would mean, and even to the point where they established a group called NAMBLA, North American Man-Boy Love Association, except you're such a dolt you don't understand that that's pedophilia, which is precisely what happened at Epstein Island, where your beloved president happened to visit numerous times. They were out in the open about what they were going to try to accomplish. It is true that NAMBLA gained some gay support in the 1970s, though minimally, because differential age of consent laws for homosexuals and heterosexuals were then used to target gay sex in jurisdictions. But NAMBLA was largely excluded from gay pride marches and gatherings by the early 1980s amid growing concerns of its child exploitation. In the podcast, Yenor added, there are always problems with the gay lifestyle. There wouldn't be if it weren't for people like you. They always have psychological problems and physical problems, such as people like you. Yenor previously helped organize Action Idaho, which was an attempt to mainstream extremism in Idaho politics. The problem with Idaho is that it grows nothing but potatoes and morons like people like Yenor. According to Western State Center Director of Programs Lindsay Schubiner, he also played a central role in the founding of the Society for American Civic Renewal. Lord only knows what that is. The fact that he is a key player in the Society for Christian Renewal, a secretive men's-only Christian nationalist organization that should have also given Heritage pause, said Heidi Beirich, Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of the Global Project Against Hate and Extremism. It's just disgraceful that Heritage, especially given all its recent scandals over providing cover for anti-Semitism, would hire Yenor, who has long bashed women and has been investigated by his former employer for civil rights violations. Oh, go figure, Beirich added. In a statement, Heritage Vice President of Domestic Policy, Roger Severino, said Heritage does not believe Employers should discriminate based on sex in matters of employment remuneration. We advocate for the American family in law, policy, and culture, and you are full of complete and utter bullshit. That's the news blast for this hour, and I made it through. If you are watching our news videos on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel and let me know how many F words I used. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast right here, right now on PEP Radio.